you know, it doesn't look like it's on a wood turner, so we got to smooth this edge out. So we'll put a fillet edge on. So in addition to making outside curves, we can change this to say a 2-inch radius just to try it. Left click right on that circle. You can see it smooths it out. Not quite enough though, so let's try a 4-inch just to see what that looks like. There we go. So if we actually spin this around, we can see we got this nice dowel appearance, similar to what's shown on the drawing. So it's not going to be exact, but it's going to be close. So we know we made this peg a little bit shorter to fit in the hole, so we're going to have to determine how we want to put that in there. So I'm going to go back to a wireframe. We'll do a fit view and change it to an isometric. So let me see if I can grab this right by the center point right there. See how I'm grabbing that right by the edge? The collar that's going to be up against the wood would go right here. We come over here into the center point. Hopefully I'm on the right side of the wood. Yeah, I am. And find the matching point. You can see how my base now is a little bit short. So if there's glue or wood putty or something in there, it's not going to stick out. So if we come around now to a front view, we can select this piece. And we know it was 5.5 inches apart. If we look back at our screen, these are 5.5 inches on center. So I should be able to just take that object by itself and copy it. And I don't want to snap to it. I just want to left click down here, and I know it's going to go 5.5. It's going to go 5.5 again. And then we can select it down here and go 5.5 and 5.5. It actually should index to that 5.5 anyway. So we'll look at this in an isometric again, change it to a illustration with shadows, and then we can rotate it around, and there's our 3-component rack. Okay, so we've got some drawings now that we can work with. Let's go to our title block sheet, and we'll start renaming this one. This one will be project, I think we went to project 8. And you'll change the date and the titles. But now, this is going to have to be brought in at a scale. Not sure what it would be. Right now, I'm thinking at 26, if it's 26 inches and this paper's 11 inches, I probably need to go to maybe a quarter scale, 1:4. Let's see what we can do. So we're going to attach project 8. We'll go to our 3D model. We'll say our top view at, let's just put in 1:4. Should give us a quarter scale. You can see we can place that right there. And we can fold that down so we get the front view. And then we can fold that one along a vertical line, just like we did before. And we'll pull it over to the side. So for now, let's just leave that the way it is. Let's go down to the bottom, and we can see the scale was set at full, so we need to retitle that. Instead of full, we're just going to type in quarter. I'll rename it to A8 for project name, just for the hell of it. And we'll put some text on here for, I'm going to use 1/8 inch center justified. I don't want it 90 degrees. And we'll type in top view. Front view. Excuse me. Sorry. Lost my icon here. There we go. And this would be our side view for right side view. We'll pull that right over here. Sorry again. Now, I want to do an isometric of one of the pegs so that we can show what that looks like. If we go to our reference tool and we're going to attach, same project again, model 3D isometric, this time at 1 to 2. Don't get concerned. And I'm just going to move this over to the side. There's our whole piece. But you'll notice with our level display, I can select that isometric and say I only want to see, oh goodness, I made a mistake. Alright, let's close this out for a second. An easily fixed mistake. When I started drawing the pegs, I didn't change my level. So I'll go back to my 3D model, change this to a right side view, take my selection tool and just grab the bottom of this so it selects all of my pegs, go to 5-1, and I just want to change my level to peg C, part C peg. That's all there is to it. So we go back to our letter sheet view, and now when I select this isometric, I don't even need to select it, but I can go to my level display, select that reference file, and say I don't want to see anything but part C. And now here's another little fence tool we can use. If we go to our reference tool and look at this again, there's my isometric. I want to see the presentation of that as a hidden line and hit OK. So it actually gives me a line drawing of those pegs. So we can put some notes on it and whatnot. Now the other thing I want to do is I'm going to put a fence around just one peg with our fence tool, and I can come over here to this little clip reference tool, the one with the scissors on it, left click, active fence, left click again, and all I'm left with then is just one peg to show, and I can take my move tool and I can move that peg over here so it fits into that location. And we can put some notes, and we'll put a little descriptor here of we'll call it coat peg. We'll place it right underneath this, and we can add some notes to it. So we're actually ready to I can take my fence. You have to click the fence tool to get rid of that again. Now we can look at this and say, okay, I want to start dimensioning it, but now we need to go back and do what we did before. We're going to select this first one, dynamic, and change it to legacy. Just do 1 to start with. We want it to be exact. Just like we did before, hidden lines are forced on. We want that color to be 3. And our visible edges want to be, we'll say color 2 again. And style 0, we'll call it weight 1. Hit OK. And left click. Now, if I take this next one, you can see there's my drawing, shows a top view looking down through the shelf. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Now I just need to say, change it to a legacy, hit OK, and it remembers the settings from the previous one. So now we'll do this one again. We'll say legacy, hit OK. So it's a very quick process now to do those. There's our drawing, shows our pegs in there, our radius pieces, everything looks pretty good. And now we'll take our dimensioning tool, we'll go to style. I want to go to architectural, but let's hit the magnifying glass and maybe we'll copy this one and call it ARCH inches, because I want my units now to be in just master units with a label. And I want my master units to be in inches. The inch mark to a accuracy of a 1/16 of an inch. Let's see. Text. We'll keep it at 07 center justified for now. It should be probably, for a small drawing like this, let's keep the orientation horizontal and inline like a mechanical, because it's just going to be like a mechanical dimensioning, but it's going to use architectural, so we're going to see the dimensions in fractions. And we'll save that. Let's try it. We got architectural inches now. So I'll start with some radius pieces. So rather than that square, I can actually show that it has a radius on the top, and we could kind of limit, we could kind of put our dimensions from this top point. We went out 5. Oops, no, we didn't do that. Not really sure how to, I guess we could start here, and we may have to hit an N. So you can put some dimensions that would indicate where some of these points would be located. Oops. You gotta be sure to grab a point. Oh crap. Sorry. Yeah, it doesn't work very well. Might be better for us to show it like they do on the drawing. So if we go back to our model now, this wouldn't show up anyway. We could put a little grid pattern in behind there, and we still can. We'll just use our color yellow, which is our lightest color. We'll draw a horizontal line from the top over, another one from here to here. This is 1 to 4, so if these are in 1-inch squares, we'd move this 1/4 inch at a time. Copy this one, 0.25. Yeah, that works. That way we don't have to put any dimension lines on this. So sometimes you're designing on the fly, and I'll just grab this one, drop it down. And that's just going to show up as a very gray line in the background, so somebody printing this out and drawing it would know that. What we'll do is put a note on this that says, take our note tool, we want to be in 07 center justified, and we'll say grid 1 inch by 1 inch, and we'll just select here. That makes it easy. Now we can go back to dimensioning. We've got a radius here. I'm just going to left click on this corner, drop it down, and say I want to see the radius, but I want to see a center mark too. So there's our radius of 2 inches. Shows the center mark for where that would be on the screen. 2 inches on this side. Now we can put some more dimensions. We're just going to go to this edge, 4 inches exposed, 3 inches in. Good place to do that one. show this board at 3/4 of an inch thick. We got a couple more radiuses here we can put on. That one's kind of in an odd spot, so there we go. Don't be afraid to move things around as you're dimensioning. Don't just drop them wherever they fall. And this one we got room on the outside that we can show the radius. Now we can put some overall width dimensions on here. We'll put the height, thickness of the board, and then we can come down here. Whoops. Do a little modification here. Bring this out. So I'm bringing this out so it shows up good, but now it interferes with this one, so I can take my modify. Should be able to just maybe even take the move tool and just move this. I don't want to do that. I want to modify it, I guess. Much better. And we can put a general note. It just says material to be white pine. Stick that down here. And I want to put a little NTS, stands for not to scale, so nobody's scaling off this coat peg. Everything else would be quarter scale, but except for this piece. So we want to show that the peg is going to be, put some notes on this, this is going to be 5/8 inch diameter by 1/2 inch long insert. Note that right there. Dowel base was 5/8 inch diameter. We have another place, and we could actually put the exposed length of the, ends up being 3 1/8 inch. Let's pull it down. And we know that to the center point of this, 1 3/8 inches. We want to note that the center to center dimensions are going to be 5.5 inches. And then underneath that, just to save space, we'll put parentheses TYP period. Maybe I should edit that. It'd be TYP period. Maybe before that we'll say O period C for on center typical. That looks better. Looking to see if we have any other thing we probably want to dimension overall from the top to the bottom. I'll pull that out on this side. It was 9.5 inches. If we go from this point to the bottom, we can see that our bottom curve is going to be 6 3/8 inches. And I know it's a little tight, but again, we're working on 8.5 by 11 sheets. Kind of just take some time, organize things, move things around so that they're not crowded. this over here, and I'm going to put in isometric so they know the orientation of this peg. And this was 1/2 inch diameter to the middle, so we can put a note here that just says 1/2 inch. Whoops. Find the keyboard. Inch diameter. APPROX, approximate. And we'll put a note right there. I think we pretty much got it. Maybe a few things I'm missing, but everything looks okay here. We'll do a Control P. Not sure we'll be able to get this all done in one class, but thought I hit Control P. Thinking. Resymbolization, attach pen table. We'll go to our utilities. There's my pens. Didn't pick up that red on that outline. Did that time. So that looks pretty good for mini drawing. I just changed it to monochrome. If I go back to my 3D model, there's the color of that peg. If you take this information tool, it says it's color 3. Might be just because it's in a rendered mode, so we won't worry about it. I'm just gonna, we won't mess with it right now. We'll leave it the way it is. True color. We've already got our pen table on. I'll just double check, and we'll do a print. I'm gonna put this in our removable drive. There's my PDF drawings. We're going to say Claude Junkins 8, and of course your name would be the one on it. Hit save. Finish creating the file. We'll go here, say file open, just to check it. It's always a good idea to check your drawings, and I think this is it. Draw a PDF. So there's our drawing, and I like to kind of zoom in. You take a look, there's our yellow lines that show up very light and gray. You can see they got that gray tone to them. Fit view, everything looks good. Nice line weights over here. Hidden lines are good. This is just what you're seeing here for the hidden lines, are those kind of tapered pieces on that unit. I think everything looks pretty good here. So front, right side, project EIGHT, good deal. You're going to upload that to the Blackboard, and we'll get that graded. So that is your assignment 8 for this week. To start with, we may end up doing more later on, but this is what we're going to end up with. All right, thanks.